What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We're back here for yet another episode, and in today's video I'm going to be going over my top 5 favorite fall bass fishing baits. Now I do live down here in the south. I'm not able to travel all the time like the Guggen Squad does, so I'm going to do the best to my ability to kind of include everybody in the United States in this together. I haven't fished everywhere, so I can't speak for everyone, but I'm going to do my best to kind of include baits that you can fish anywhere in the country as long as you have open water. So, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to name the bait, where you fish it in the water column, and then the combo, the rod, the reel, the line, where, and that kind of thing, and what time of fall to transitioning into winter you throw this bait. So, the first of all is right after summer, and it's still almost summer, but it's like getting, the temperatures are dropping. They're like 60s, 50s, 60s mainly to 50s, and that is topwater. Now I've got a couple topwaters right here. We've got the whopper plopper right here, and then we've also got the a little popper. So these are two great topwater baits. I don't use a popper a whole lot, honestly, just because I fish in a lot of grass, and that's actually, I didn't pull one out of my box, but another one is if you're down here in the south like me, I'm going to still be throwing a frog, rather than like a whopper plopper or a popper or even a spook. I'd rather throw a frog in some of that grass because the bass will still be hanging out in the grass. So again, you can throw a topwater, whopper plopper. You could throw this on like a 7-foot medium to 7-foot medium heavy. Just a standard like 6'3" to 7'1" gear ratio reel, 15-pound line, 17-pound fluorocarbon, and that's pretty much about this bait. Sometimes, like for me, I'm fishing grass with a frog, so I'm going to be throwing braid, but those of you who are up north, you guys are probably actually already throwing these, and you're probably throwing them on like a 7-foot medium heavy with some like 17-pound fluoro, or actually not fluoro, mono, because fluoro sinks. Next, you've got lipless cranks. Now I love lipless crankbaits, and this right here is probably one of my favorite colors. It's a just a standard the red color, like a crawfish color, and that's probably one of my favorite all year long colors. But you can also throw a shad color right there, and shad will be pretty good because the shad spawn is in like May, April, kind of up there near the bass and bluegill spawn, and so the shad will be a little bit bigger because they've had all summer to school up and feed on like crickets and whatever they eat, and so you can also throw a shad lipless crankbait. Lipless crankbaits are just good in general. You can throw them around grass, or like rip them on the top of the grass, and I love me some lipless crankbaits. You can throw this on a 7-foot medium heavy, 7-foot medium, 6'3" to 1 gear ratio reel. Wouldn't reel it super fast, but you can reel it just medium speed, and you can throw this on some braid. I normally do because all my rods are spooled with braid, or you could also throw this with like your 15 to 17-pound fluorocarbon. So that's that. Also, I included, for me down here in the south, I will still be throwing chatterbaits in November. As long as there is open water, I'll still be throwing chatterbaits. So I've got a chatterbait right here. This is only for people down here in the south, because obviously those of you who are up north, you're not going to be throwing chatterbaits when the water is too cold. You're going to be throwing, you might even be out there on the ice. So this is just a little green pumpkin chatterbait right there. Really good. I've caught fish on a chatterbait all year round, and you can throw this on a standard 7-foot, 7'3", 7.5 foot medium heavy, or you might be able to get with a medium. I'm not too sure. I always throw them on a medium heavy, and then just a standard gear ratio reel with some standard 15 to 17 pound fluorocarbon, and there you go. imitates a bluegill. And bass in the fall are wanting to school up and feed up for the winter, so they can get fat and juicy for the winter months where they're not very active. Next, these are just for kind of for the northern guys. I don't fish jerkbaits too much because all my ponds have grass in them, but I threw this in for those of you who are up north and you're going to be throwing jerkbaits, so you can kind of skip this one because I don't really know what I'm talking about with these. But I thought I would include these. Here's a couple of jerkbaits right here, shad imitators, because that's what you're imitating with jerkbaits. You're imitating whenever you jerk it, the shad moves around like it's in school or something, or it's injured. So those are two jerkbaits. Really, most people use like a 6/6 medium because you're twitching the rod tip down. You don't want to be hitting the water, and you want that bend so the jerkbait dashes real good. So and a standard gear ratio. Next is what you will be using at the very end of fall. Yeah, because that's what we're doing. And these are kind of two baits, and I really like to throw both of them. One of them is a shaky head right there. I love me throwing a shaky head. You could put a crawl on here, you could put a worm on here, a shaky head is like pretty much a hook. Like you could put anything on it. So I really like to put a crawl on there. It just sits on the bottom and goes like that. You could hop it and everything. Really like that one, 1/4 ounce. You can put anything on it. Next is a jig. You guys know I own Legendary Baits Jigs. If you want any of the jigs, link is down there in the description. You could also use LMB10 for a discount at checkout. And but these are some of the jigs that I make. This one actually is not on the website. Just one that I whipped up real quick. Actually, while I was fishing in Table Rock Lake up in Missouri. But here is a crawfish one. You want to throw a lot of crawfish stuff down in the fall because these guys will get in the rocks, and bass love to eat crawfish because it's a good solid meal, some meat in there, I guess. I don't know, they just love to eat crawfish during the fall. So got your crawfish jig right there, a little menace trailer. Then the next one, this is kind of like our specialty color right here, the Legendary Baits Merkin color. This is a baller jig, so it's really like an all-purpose style jig. You can throw this everywhere. So I hope you all enjoyed today's video. So these are kind of like 5 baits. If you live down here in the south, again, you can throw a chatterbait unless you're on a lake, and you can throw a jerkbait. But I don't throw too many jerkbaits. And these are for those of you who are up north. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and other than that, make sure to subscribe. Go check out my huge 1,000 subscriber giveaway that's still going on right now. That video will end whenever I hit 1,000 subscribers. So I've got to go film another fishing video, so you guys stay tuned for that fishing challenge. And other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next episode of LMB Nation. Peace, guys.